Hello everybody, what's good? It's Coach Ransom Fox again here, and we have a lot of news today. Today, we finished off all of the recruits for the Wave 1 recruiting. We are officially done with the Wave 1 recruits. I'm going to buy some more figures, but Wave 1 is officially done. And today, all I did was grind on an electric football. And I'm finished. Got all my recruits signed to each team. It was very dramatic, very intense. Got no recruiting footage to show you. I'm sorry I didn't record the recruiting footage, but I wanted to finish it today. A recording would have taken too long, but I'm going to go through and analyze everything that transpired. Believe me, a lot happened. So today we worked on the biggest group we have in all of Wave 1, which is the linebackers. 5 linebackers in total. 2 right outside linebackers, 1 middle linebacker, and 2 left outside linebackers. We also worked on the 2 defensive tackles. Now, for the linebackers, if I can find it, the drills are the same as the defensive end, except for there's no tackling drill, and instead, a coverage drill replaces it. So all the drills you saw the defensive end do in the previous video, let me find his name real quickly. Sorry, I'm filming this live. All the drills you saw Fred Monroe do, that's what the linebackers did. Except for instead of the tackling drill, wow, we still have the angle tackling, they do the coverage drill, the man coverage drill that Emilio Kresge did. So looking at the results, the first outside linebacker that went was Eugene Crowley, number 5. Let's see where he is. Eugene Crowley. Here he is. Now, Crowley ended up getting 4 stars. He's a right outside linebacker from Island Lake, Minnesota. He's 19 years old, and he's 4.11 grams. He ended up getting a 4 stars. He was a very, very good recruit, and he was pretty undecided on where he wanted to go. He was 12 Clemson, 8 Notre Dame. So it was pretty toss up to see where he was going to go, but he was a 4-star recruit, pretty good player, one of the top players. The next outside linebacker was number 6, Tonnell Cobb. Where's Tonnell Cobb? Right here. Cobb is also a right outside linebacker. He's from Long Beach, California, 18 years old. He's a little heavier, 4.28 grams, and he ended up getting 3 stars. He's an average recruit. He's a good, solid player. Nothing special like Crowley. Crowley was a really good player, like top-notch player. But Cobb was still a good, solid player, and his interest was 20-0 for Clemson. So we knew all along he was automatically going to Clemson, and he did indeed end up signing with Clemson. We also have some other signing news we'll get into later. The next we have the middle linebacker, number 10, Leonard Lambert, who was skin out paint soon. I just didn't get to everybody. Lambert was a 4.5-star player. Extremely talented football player. He's what you want in a team leader at the middle linebacker position. And he was 9 for Clemson and 11 for Notre Dame, so it's close as it could be. So you know these teams are jostling to get him to come to their school. But extremely talented football player. We had the left outside line. Lambert weighed 4.57 grams. Jim Garcia, the left outside linebacker from Houma, California, 18 years old, 4.35 grams. And Garcia was number 11, was 3 stars. He's a pretty good left outside linebacker, and he was also locked for Clemson. Clemson had 4 locked recruits. Notre Dame had 2 out of the 14, as he was 19-1 going to Clemson. The last outside linebacker we had was Clayton Anderson. He was a 4.5-star recruit. Very, very special talent. Here's Clayton Anderson right here. Him and Lambert were the top linebackers today by far. Anderson was 13-7 in Notre Dame's favor, so he's probably was going to go to Notre Dame. But he's 4.1 grams from Marquette, Minnesota, 19 years old. He's a left outside linebacker. He had an extremely strong showing today. And then we also did 2 defensive tackles. And the first defensive tackle was Jeffrey Yates, who was locked on the Clemson. Another one of the Clemson lock players. And he was number 8. Let me find him. This is him. I'll paint his skin color soon. He's 5.18 grams from St. Paul, Minnesota, 19 years old. He's a defensive tackle, as previously stated. He got 3.5 stars. He's a solid player. He's probably going to be a starter, probably the second starter at the defensive tackle position for Clemson. He's a very solid player. And then the last player we did today was Raquan Waters, defensive tackle, number 9, who was 5 stars. Only 5-star we have in the Wave 1 recruiting, but 5 stars I rarely give them out. But if you look at his sheet, he only failed one part of one drill, which is the tackle drill. He went 2 out of 3. Everywhere else, he passed, and he passed with flying colors. He ended up getting 20 total points. 21 points is the perfect, but he ended up getting 20 points. He was one away from being a perfect recruit. He's 5 grams from Atlanta, Georgia. You know, it's a football hotbed. He's 18 years old, and he's 5 stars. And he's 14-6 for Notre Dame. He's probably going to go to Notre Dame. So Raquan Waters was the star of this recruiting phase. Now, also, remember how the offensive guard, Donald Quarterman, failed to make a team? Well, we had his walk-on today. And basically, what I decided to do for a walk-on is that he does each drill one time. And each team, you know, they usually have 3+1s to help an athlete go to their school. You only have 1+1 you can give to that athlete. He needs to get a total of 5 points to pass and go to a school. Unfortunately, Donald Quarterman got 2 total points and 3 for each school. Did not get 5 points, not even for one school. And he failed his walk-on attempt. Just a total embarrassment for a player that was really interested to look at. Both coaches were interested to look at. But he just didn't show up either day. And I don't know what to do with him now, because I'm basically wasting a player in a base. I might put him back in the phase 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. You guys should tell me what I could do. But he failed his first attempt, and he had a second chance, a walk-on chance. And he failed that too. Anyway, back to recruiting news. Jeffrey Casey, the running back, the first player we ever did, well, he was only eligible to sign with Clemson, and he did end up signing with Clemson. Other early signees, Michael Frazier, offensive tackle, who was 3.5 stars. He's locked on to Clemson, and they signed him. All the locks signed on today. So I already talked about Tonnell Cobb, who's a 3-star right outside linebacker. I already talked about Jeffrey Yates, a 3.5-star defensive tackle. Jeff Garcia, a 3-star left outside linebacker. They all signed with Clemson today. And Notre Dame got their other lock, 3-star defensive end Fred Monroe. He signed with them. So all that was left were these players. Now, I shouldn't say that's all we had left, because the players that were undecided were the best players, ironically. 5-star defensive tackle Raquan Waters. 4.5-star middle linebacker Lambert. Anderson, the 4.5-star left outside linebacker. Hardigan, the 4-star offensive guard. Crowley, the 4-star right outside linebacker. And Ross, the 3-star athlete, were still up for grabs. So remember, my recruiting is very, very interesting the way I do it. There's 14 recruits, correct? So each team has 14 points. So here is previously each team's interest. Clemson and Notre Dame, so me and my dad, we write down how many points we're giving to each athlete. But we don't know what we're doing. We do it blind. So he does his points, flips it over. I do my points and flip it over. It's very intense, like recruiting is. And you can bluff people, and it's... I want to understand if you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. So, for instance, Lambert was 9 Clemson, 11 Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, he's probably going to go to Notre Dame, right? But after we wrote down who we wanted, my dad gave 0 points to Lambert. So since he was Notre Dame, and remember, you have 14 points to give, and you don't have to use all of them, and you don't have to put points for everyone. I only gave points for 2 people. I didn't know how many points he was going to give towards Lambert. I thought he was going to put a lot of points to him to try to secure him, because he's a top player. He ended up showing no interest in Lambert, so Lambert stayed at an 11 for Notre Dame. I used 10 of my 14 points on Lambert, because I really wanted him. So I went from 9 to 19, and I ended up having more points than Notre Dame did, which ended up with me getting Lambert. If you guys understand what I'm saying, tell me. But what makes this interesting is that we don't know what we're doing. For instance, my dad bluffed. Very, very smart move by an athletic director. Raquan Waters, he acted dumb and I was like, oh, how many points do I need to make sure I get him? So I told him he needs 7 points. So I thought he was going to put a lot of points to him. Or he bluffed and lied to me and he only put 4 points towards Waters. So technically, I could have gotten Waters if I wanted to. If I put all my points, if I used all 14 of my points, I would have had 20 and he would have had 18 and I would have gotten Waters. But I fell for the bluff and Waters ended up going to Notre Dame. And I just think this is a really interesting way to recruit. Here's the official sheet. As you can see, I only put interest in Lambert and Crowley. He only put interest Waters, Anderson, Ross, and Hardigan. And out of the previous points, there was only one flip. Lambert went from Notre Dame to Clemson, so that was a big steal for Clemson. And everyone else stayed with their previous majority, ended up signing with them. And at the end of the day, Clemson ended up getting 7 recruits. Notre Dame got 6. I'm going to be buying a stock bag of Reggie figures soon to do another wave of recruiting. I like this way. It was really intense, the last part of the recruiting. I'll go through the roster soon, but here's Notre Dame. They'll be painted up soon. Here's Clemson. And we have important news from Clemson's athletic director, Ransom Fox. They will be wearing the uniforms they wore when they defeated Alabama in the national championship. So orange helmet, white jersey with the orange paw print on the shoulders, and orange pants. So to practice with Clemson, I'm just going to be painting the helmet and pants orange. I'll buy the decals soon. Notre Dame, I'm going to buy the decals for the name, the number, same with Clemson, and their shoulder stripe with the ND logo, but it pretty much looks like that right now. I don't really have to do that much work because they do not have any leg stripes or any helmet logo. They'll get painted up pretty soon. Let's go through the roster. And jersey numbers were given. Some are subject to change, but we already talked about Kresge. Bobby Hardigan, the 4-star offensive guard, 5.26 grams is number 68. Number 69 is a star, coveted blue chip player, defensive tackle Raquan Waters, 5 grams. Like, I know Clemson got one more player than Notre Dame, but Notre Dame got the better quality players today. They came out on top in the first wave of recruiting. Clayton Anderson, the 4.5-star left outside linebacker, is going to be wearing number 99. Fred Monroe, the 3-star defensive end, is going to be wearing number 72. And the athlete, Tavoris Ross, is going to wear number 2. For Clemson, offensive tackle, 3.5 stars, Michael Frazier is going to be number 75. Running back, Jeffrey Casey, 2.5 stars, is going to be number 15. Right outside linebacker, Eugene Crowley, 4 stars, is going to be 99. The backup right outside linebacker, number 37 is going to be Tonnell Cobb, who's 3 stars. 4.5 star, really, really big one for Clemson, swinging him over to their side. Leonard Lambert, middle linebacker, is going to be number 10. Defensive tackle, 3.5 stars, Jeffrey Yates, number 96. And lastly, left outside linebacker, 3 stars, Jim Garcia is going to be number 57. I'll have these guys painted soon and show you. Today was a big day. Oh, for defensive tackle, the drills I did, just in case anyone's interested, it was the same as the defensive end drills, except for I did an Oklahoma drill. Like an Oklahoma drill where obviously the defensive tackle that was being worked out was the defensive lineman in the Oklahoma drill itself. But I still had the 40-yard dash, the strength drill, the pass rush, the rush defense, the tackle, and the 7-on-7 drill. And today's recruits, they really balled out. And it was, tell me if you guys understand the recruiting, the way recruiting works. I understand it. If you guys don't, just hit me up. I'll explain it better. But I think it's really interesting and fun, especially because it's blind. You don't know how many points, for instance, is going to add to a certain player. And some players, you already know where they're going to go, based on the fact that they are really leaning towards one school already. But Clemson, if they didn't get Lambert, they would have had a pretty bad recruiting haul, but getting Lambert pretty much saved the day. The player's going to be painted soon. Kresge looks really fresh right now, and don't worry for Clemson, I'm going to make them look all fresh with gloves and stuff like that. And we'll have more recruiting coming up soon, more recruiting news, I should say. But yeah, we finished wave 1. All these guys are done with, and these rosters are starting to fill out. It's only been a couple weeks, but these rosters are starting to fill out pretty quickly. Now, it's going to take a while for me to order and get the new figures. So I'm going to spend most of this time painting and ordering decals, but thanks for everyone for watching and helping and supporting. I'm going to buy some of the training equipment that Big Lock recommended because that jaunt looks amazing. But yeah, thanks everybody. I sound pretty tired right now. It's because I am. I've been playing this for basically like 4 hours straight today after a long, hard week, but I do it because I like it and you guys like it. Thanks everybody. Peace.